sure that Twitch is muted, send out Twitter stuff, get all the bots going that need to go. Well, I guess a bot. Gotta manage that chat. Alright, that should be good. So, hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson, and it is December. Still got 2 months on that. Although, actually no, I guess I only have a month and a half. This is October 21st, and this is the October 21st TextQuest Devstream. So, today is Saturday, which means we're going to be continuing our work on custom content creation, so custom text-based adventures. And sticking with our theme over the past couple of weeks, we're going to be focusing on interactions specifically today. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the current state of things, and then we will, the first thing we're actually going to do today is update TextMesh Pro, because there is a patch for 2017.2, so that'll fix some of our odd UI errors, I'm hoping. It won't fix that, though. I don't know what that was, or is, this long, dark abyss that is just a delay. That probably needs to be looked into. Well, at any rate, let's go ahead and click through all this. Type start. That's kind of funny. Okay. Oh, I guess my most recent save file would be from the planes level. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to extras, author mode. We're going to create. We're going to go to Zork. All right. So, let's see here. We're going to go to our map, room 2, interactions, and we have a test object. All right. So this is the current state of affairs for custom game interactions. We have the ability to create them, and we have the ability to associate them with specific rooms inside a custom text-based adventure. But we don't have a way to, one, set up verbs yet. We still need to allow parsing from a file to function. Although that one, we might actually do that first after we update TextMesh Pro. And we also need to figure out why our verbs are not saving out correctly, although I get the feeling that that's probably just because of 2JSON not really working on test objects currently. That won't be a tough issue to fix, but it will be somewhat tedious. Mostly it's going to involve just doing a lot of JSON value caching. But we do have the actual view working, and we do have room associations working, which is, an important step. Unfortunately, we cannot currently remove these test objects from the actual interactions list here in a room, so we're going to have to do that today as well. So it's going to be a lot of small steps, again, similar to what we've been doing the past couple of weeks. A lot of small steps to get to the final goal, or the end goal of actual object interactions functioning in custom adventures. So let's go ahead and stop playing. And of course, that's going to take 20 seconds, so I'm going to hop over to our code. And let's see, what are we going to need open here? So we have custom game interaction view. I suppose we could actually go to overview menu real quick. I'm going to go to definition here, mostly because I want to see what happens when we click on delete. We get a modal. Our delete message is this will delete. Okay. We will probably want to change this to not just say, are you sure you want to delete this object? We'll also want to make it very explicitly clear that this will delete the object from your custom adventure, not from that room specifically. All right. Might end up making that edit. But for now, let's see. Interaction view. Let's go ahead and update TextMesh Pro. So this is going to require a little bit of frustration on our part. I was hoping I could do this before the dev stream, except I was working on contract work up until this, so ran out of time. Not enough hours in the day, as they say. So we're going to drag this into our root folder, and then we will update TextMesh Pro with a package. And the reason we're doing it that way is just because I've noticed that sometimes TextMesh Pro, or well, any asset won't really update unless it's in the root proper. Mostly because if there are new files that are added, they will. Are you serious? You are going to be annoying about this, aren't you? Okay, hold on. Let's see. I have to do this the old-fashioned way. Asset, import package, custom package. Let's go to downloads, TextMesh Pro. Do this. All right. So it doesn't look like we really have that much to import. I actually don't know what we do have. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it's just gonna refresh some scripts, which makes sense. Probably just some minor WebGL 2. Nope, that's something completely different. Some minor 2017.2 fixes that TextMesh Pro has built into it. So yeah, the next thing that we're going to do after this is take a look at getting delete buttons functional in the custom adventure room view. So, okay, that's done. Let's go ahead and drag this back into the appropriate folder. Because I'm a stickler for organization, it drives me nuts when I don't have things in their proper places. Here we are. And let me think. I think the approach we're going to use for deleting interactions from a room is just going to have a delete button next to the interaction itself. Let's see here. Go ahead and collapse all this. We can also collapse a couple of things that we don't need open right now, just to make it easier on ourselves. And Unity has to compile, because of course it does. All right, so let's go ahead and pop this open. I don't think this is the one we want, right? Nope. Okay. So we want the room view. I guess I could use this to select. All right. Let's see. That's interactions, views, custom game. I guess we'll want rooms. Yep. Drag this open. Boop. Let's see. Here's our sections. Oh, wrong thing. Submenus. We want room interactions. Let's go ahead and turn this on. All right. We have an interaction button. Let's go ahead and go over here. I suppose we'll. Yeah. Dang it! I started dragging way too soon. Because now I have to manually hold it over this in order to actually get it to function properly. All right. Let's go ahead and shrink this down a little bit. Interaction button. F over here. That would be my cat wanting attention. Because she gets spoiled. And let's see here. So you can see that it's stretching across this entire width here. It probably will get cut off a little bit here. Cat, I see you. You don't need to get up on my desk. All right. So I'm going to change our our name label. It'll have an offset of 75 from the right. That honestly is not enough. Let's go to 100. All right. I'm also going to steal our delete button from down here. Copy you, paste you down here. Cool. Single out the scale. Ah, freaking Unity 2017.2. There we go. We're going to align this one to the right, stretched vertically, and let's go ahead and set this all up. Position of 0, a width of 100 is all we get. We're going to need to change our size quite a bit on the text. Let's have that. Well, 16. Yeah, 16 works. It's a little smallish, kind of hard to read, but not terrible. Alright, so let's go ahead and let that go. That's a delete button. Do I really need anything else? Nope, that's probably good. Alright, so yeah, here's where things can get kind of wonky. I have a button on top of a button. that will probably cause some odd behavior. But we'll apply this and then see what happens. Dang it. It just sucks that I have to do it like this, don't I? Yep. Alright. Let's go ahead and edit script. Reload all. Come on. There we go. Let's find all references. This must have a custom editor. Yep, there it is. Cool. We're going to have to use that. So we're going to say public button delete button. Alrighty then. And I suppose we'll want to say private void on delete clicked. Then we'll have to say override awake. Then delete button dot on click dot add listener on delete clicked. Cool. Then for this we're gonna have to have some delegates. So public delegate void. I can't call it button event. Interaction button event. Button event is actually something that's already defined in the base button class, so I can't. Although it might be called Unity button event, but either way. So this is a delegate, and then we're going to go ahead and say public event interaction button event on delete. We'll say delete clicked. Delete clicked, if I could spell delete, is equal to delegate. Oh, duh. I was like, what's going on? It's like, oh yeah, I need to actually say delegate. Alright, so we're just going to call delete clicked here. Simple as that. Alright, let's come over here real quick. I guess I'm going to grab this. And then m underscore delete. Alright, and there we are, simple as that. Go ahead and let that go. And once that compiles, we should be able to actually see this. See a little thing pop up here. I was debating whether or not I should have it draw a script field, but I guess I'll just keep it like this for now. Alright. Delete button. Okay, let's go ahead and select this. Hit apply. Height of 50. I like to give button prefabs like this default parameters, so width of 500, or height, yeah, width of 500. Mostly because otherwise, when I drag it into the scene, it's going to have a width and height of 0, and that makes no sense. So, let's leave that as is. And I think I'm going to go ahead and 1, turn off our UI. Then 2, go back to, you know what, actually, before we do that, we want room interactions menu. All right. On interaction clicked, private void on interaction deleted. Right. That is a little problematic now, isn't it? No, it's not. I can... Nope, I can't. Dang it! Crud. I was going to say I can get around that by... Well, I still can. Okay. It's going to be a little odd. but you will see what it is in a second. Let's see here. So I can't, I guess to explain what this is, I need to pass an index for the interaction being deleted, but the interaction itself doesn't have a reference to its own index, so I need to actually make a delegate that has an index value associated with it. It's not ideal, but it'll work. Although, that's going to make things so annoying. Well, at any rate, I'll go ahead and set it up so we can at least look at it. So you generate interactions. We're going to clear interactions. Going to go through all of these. All right, new button.onClick.addListener. So we're going to say new button.onClick. Oh, I'm sorry, not onClick. On or delete clicked. Cat, you are all up in my face today. All right, delete clicked plus equals on interaction deleted. Well, no, it's going to have to be this. Plus equals delegate int index. Oh, except, actually, no, I lied. It's going to be delegate, and then it's going to say on interaction deleted I for now. Although I probably will actually need to change this to an index value in a little bit, but it should be fine for now. So let's go ahead on clear interactions. I'll go ahead and do interaction buttons of I dot delete clicked. I wonder if I don't actually know if I can assign this here. I'm guessing not. Yeah. Can't really remove a delegate very easily. Well, that's annoying. Let's see. Because it's an anonymous function that I'm going to lose right away. So that is not ideal. Okay. Let's go ahead and go back to delete clicks or go to definition. I could make it a Unity event. I really don't want to, but I suppose I could. All right. No. I'll just have a reset button. Let's see. So set event, set info. All right. Let's go ahead and come down here and say public void reset events or reset event listeners. And for that, we're just going to say on click. There goes the mic, which means that my guy's probably broken. I'm going to stop talking and see if my avatar does. Never fails. Always happens at least once. No idea why. Oh well, at least it reminded me that I needed to hit design. Alright, so we're going to do that, and then we're also going to say delete clicked as equal to delegate, which will force it to be refreshed. Alright, so now I can come up here to custom room interactions menu, blah, blah, blah. Cat, do you have to keep jumping up here? I swear, she just keeps jumping. Alright, so we're going to say dot reset event listeners. Actually, I might as well rename that to remove event listeners. Alright, so that's all good, and it also means that I can come down here, and let's see here. So for this, we're going to want to say interaction buttons of index dot remove event listeners, and then we are also going to want to say interaction buttons of dot remove at index. And I suppose the easiest thing for me to do would be just to do this. Let's see, what is it? Custom room interaction button. Custom room interaction button. Button is equal to that. Then we'll say button dot remove event listeners. Then Unity object pool. Yeah. Pool manager dot recycle button dot game object. All right. So that's going to remove the actual button, but it won't take care of the interaction itself. So for that, I'm going to need to, let's see, on interactions, clicked, add new interaction. Let's see, current room.interactions. So this one's going to be a little weird because I believe I want to just say, well, maybe not weird, but I think I just want to say this. Current room.interactions.remove at index. I think that will work for all cases. Yeah, because when you add it, it should add this interaction. But then again, let's add interaction. Well, no, that should work. All right. So let's go ahead and go back here. Let this compile. While that's happening, I'm going to take a drink. And then we'll see if this works. I'm a little concerned that it won't. For a couple of reasons, but we'll see if it does. And also keep in mind that our we're not going to be prompted with a warning that says, are you sure you want to delete this object? It's just going to happen. So let's go to extras, author mode, create, Zork, map, room 2, actions. Okay, we got an argument out of range exception. Let's see here. On interaction deleted, custom room interaction menu, 91. Wow, that just straight up did not. All right. I don't know how that happened really, but you know what? I'll give it to it. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say int index is equal to I. Let's go ahead and see if this fixes it. And if not, we're going to go ahead and also say debug.log index here. So we'll know what those values are coming out. Let's see. Is that... Yeah, that should be what it is. Okay. All right. Ugh, excuse me. Clearly, I need more sleep. Did not get a lot. Okay. Once it compiles, of course. Eventually. Any century now. There we go. The secret is to belittle the game engine, and then it will do what you want. So, let's see if we can actually delete interactions this time. Alright, click through here. Let's go ahead and go to new game. Man, I am a little concerned with how long it's taking to build those materials. Alright, extras, author mode, create, Zork. Go into the map, room 2, interactions, and delete. Oh, yep, okay, so it was the index value. So, yep. Fun little fact, Unity is still broken that way if you're doing any sort of delegates or event listeners through an iteration process, like a for each loop or a for loop. You need to make a new variable that you declare within the scope of that for loop. Otherwise, indexes just won't work. So, all right. So we now have that deleting them. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's try opening it again. Ooh, that's also not great. Also, that actually doesn't make sense. Why didn't the interactions tab go away? Well, whatever. Okay, so it looks like it doesn't load it again. Let's go ahead and stop playing. Come back here. We're going to go to build, text west, custom. Take a look at our Zork file. All right. Oh, crap. It still has that. Oh, no, that's right. We didn't delete the interaction itself. I was going to say, oh, no, it still has the object. It's like, wait. That's correct. So we didn't delete the interaction itself, but that interaction is no longer listed in that room. Well, I should probably confirm that. So that's room 2, right? Yes. Where are our interactions? That's interesting. Do I just not add interactions if the interaction count is not 0? I don't remember doing that, but I don't doubt that I did that. So let's see, custom game author session. Let's see, that's going to be at the very bottom here. Go to definition. All right. Positions, connections, room info, blah, 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 blah. Actually, I guess that would just be under base.tjson, wouldn't it? All right, so let's see. Settings, variables, values, game data. Let's see. 2JSON, go to definition. Yep, okay. So I only add the interactions array if our interactions count is greater than 0. Makes sense. Because there's no need to add extra fields if you're not going to use them, or if they're not being used. All right, so next steps, since they're being removed from the rooms, would be modal. Let's go ahead and go to custom game author session, custom room interaction menu. Here we are. Let's go ahead and delete this, and we're going to say, hello, Apollo I. Welcome back. It's been a while. 240 players? Nice! Is that playing currently or playing total? If that's currently, that's like really good, actually. Either way, welcome back to the Devstream. Let's see here. Button. Lost my train of thought. There we go. Modal. Okay. So I'm going to say... actually, no. This kind of frustratingly complicates things. So we're going to need to say private void on interaction delete selection string selection. All right. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and say UI.get modal game modal. I guess I can actually just say open modal, can't I? Open modal. So we'll need to pass it a message. Oh, crap. No. We want, well, yeah, all right. Total active players. Nice. That's still pretty good. That's still pretty good, though. 240. Man. Congratulations. That's more than our playing text quest right now, I can tell you that. How have you been, by the way? Let's see. String message. So we need a callback, which is going to be on interaction delete selection. And a title will be delete. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it'll just be delete for now. Then the options will be Hmm. Ah, geez, I forgot. This is a whole thing. Um, I guess we'll go ahead and just make them fairly easy to do right now. So, yes, and then no, no. All gravy. Well, I suppose that's a good state to be in? Question mark. Uh, Dang it, this complicates things a lot. Um, yeah, alright, that means I have to do this, which is rather annoying. Private int delete index is equal to -1. So I basically have to store this delete index and then manually grab it again at the end here. So we're going to say delete index is equal to index. And we are also going to, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Delete index, all this fun stuff. And we are also going to say author session.get interaction. Current room dot interactions of delete index. Is that correct? Yep. All right. And then we're going to say interactive object IO is equal to that. Cool. Just Bush and Bugs and Dev only launched open beta on the 1st, so get around 10 new players a day. Well, that's still pretty good. I mean, that's seems to be pretty steady growth. Do you have any specific target player base that you're trying to get to? Like 300 by the end of the month or so and so? Although at 10 per day, you will hit that. All right. So this is going to say, so this is the message that we want to show. Delete the object. Well, hold on. We're going to do a string.format. Delete object from this room. The object will, or the, hold on. Delete interaction. The interaction will can still be assigned. Wow, this is so awkward to phrase. The interaction can still be assigned to other rooms. I basically want to say you're not deleting the object itself. The interaction will still exist. The interaction itself, but will no longer be interactable in this room. Wow, that's an incredibly awkward way of saying that. But we're going to say io.name. All right, and then delete. I guess. Yeah, we'll do this. So I'll do another string.format. String.format. Comma io.name with a capital N, of course. Okay. All right. So for this, we're going to go ahead and say switch selection case yes break. So if you confirm that you want to delete this object, then you will actually remove that object there. Default will be no break, and that will set our delete index back to -1. All right. Cool. So that should do it. Not too lower. All right. So let's go ahead and try that out. So now we should get a little modal pop up when we try to delete something. Oh, man. All right. It's finally compiled. Let's go ahead and play. Yeah, I'm hoping by the end of today that we'll be able to get, I want to say, actual interactions happening, so you can go into like the test scene and actually try to interact with things, but I don't know if we're going to get that far or not. That might be next week, assuming, well, it's only been 40 minutes, so we might still have time to do that. Okay, let's go to room 2, interactions. We're going to add an interaction. All this stuff is fine. Let's just leave this as is. Let's go to overview, hit close. Okay, so now I'm going to hit delete, delete object, delete interaction object from this room. The interaction itself will still exist, but will no longer be interactable in this room. No, okay, we're good. Delete, yes, good. Haha! All right. So that's actually functioning now with a modal pop-up. That's pretty nice. So the next thing I would like to do is actually, let's go ahead and close this. When you click on this, I don't want it to actually pull up the object itself. I mean, originally I was going to have this, when you click on the object, is going to pull up like basic information about the object, and then you would have a little edit button down here. But I wonder if that would be good or not. I don't know if it'd be better to just have this open up like this, because originally this was going to show basically this. We're going to tell you the type and then the description of the object. But that kind of seems redundant if when you go to edit it, it's the same stuff, basically. That does seem a little redundant. About 50% of the players are blind, so that's an interesting area to target. But the easy aim at the moment are people that enjoy text-based games. Doesn't seem like it needs much direct marketing yet. Organic seems to be good. Makes sense. Do you have some sort of speech-to-text thing? I guess blind people can type. There's no reason to assume they can't. So I guess you would need some sort of text-to-speech thing then, in that case. Let's go ahead and delete item. Dang it. Looks like it's still busted as far as the weird highlighting goes. Yeah. Oh, it still says interadjective. Oops. Probably don't want that to say that. Probably should say something like inter name. So let's go ahead and give it a default name. So we'll call it test object. Hit OK. Let's go ahead and close this. And actually, this brings up something that I was planning on doing today as well, which is when you don't have anything here, it should actually have a default value. That way you can't have an object with no name. Because if I just left this as is, you'll see that the name goes away, and that's not good. So it should always, at the very least, have object be filled in. So if you delete the name, then object will be its default. But for now, I'm just going to say test object. Go ahead and close that. Let's go ahead and go to add interaction. I'm going to add a couple of objects here. I'm going to call this test obj2. Second test custom object. Go ahead and close that. Good. Actually, you know what I could do is have, when you hover over these buttons, I could have it show information over here. And no, that would probably be a little... I don't know. I don't feel like it makes sense to have a totally wide space here, because it's not like your names are going to be super long, likely. And I feel like I can make use of the space somehow. So it's either going to be when you click or when you hover. Clicking would probably be better, because when you're scrolling through, if you have a lot of objects in one room, you would just get like an epileptic fit over here. So, all right. Let's go ahead and close this. Stop playing. I'm going to come back here. Yes. Okay, I guess we'll reload it again. All right. So we have 2 interactions, 12 and 13. That's good. Let's go ahead and go down here. We have interactions for 11. Interesting that 11 has the verbs fully spaced out. I mean, they're not quite, they're not filled in, obviously, because there's nothing there. But do the others do this? Yeah, the others do this as well. Weird. It must be when it reads back in that it messes up. All right. Good God, this is massive. Let's see. Yeah, they use screen reader or voiceover for iOS. That makes sense. Yeah, I've never actually checked out the accessibility stuff that... I know that Windows and Mac both have accessibility features to do things like that, where they can screen read for you. I've never actually looked into them to see what they have. Let's see. So I guess the next thing is going to be setting up... Oh, right. So when you click on the Add Interaction button, it shouldn't add a new interaction. It should say, do you want to add an existing interaction or add a new interaction? So if you hit Add Interaction, Add New Interaction, that'll basically do the workflow that we're doing now. Otherwise, it should bring up a list of all interactions, and then let you sort them either alphabetically or by, well, I guess it would have to be alphabetical, because, excuse me, ID is not exactly a human readable number. I mean, it is a number that's easy to read, but it's not, it doesn't mean anything to people. So let's go ahead and go over here, custom room interaction. I'm also going to turn on UI. I want to check some stuff real quick. Turn you on. Okay, so it does just say add interaction. I kind of wonder if I could make this. I was going to have a modal pop up because that would be the easiest thing to do here. But I kind of would prefer it not to look like other modals. I would prefer it to be like a very long so horizontal wide modal that just has 2 buttons that says new interaction or existing interaction. That's not great. Yeah. All right. Well, let's just see how... I might end up making a custom modal interaction that's just one that has buttons. But for now, let's go ahead and go to... Here we go. On interaction clicked. So let's go ahead and comment you out because you're not actually going to do that anymore. Then we're going to say private void on interaction type selected, I guess. String selection. I'm also going to change this to be selected. Selected. All right. So what are we going to do here? We're going to say switch selection. I guess it doesn't really matter. I can, well, no. Yeah. Case. God, this is going to be annoying. All right, I'm actually going to change some stuff real quick to make my life easier. Let's go ahead and go up here. We're going to have some string fields, so public string, oops, I can't even spell public apparently. String add add interaction existing is equal to that public string add interaction this public string yes option is equal to this yes public string no option is equal to no. All right, so we're going to say add existing interaction, add new interaction, or create and add new interaction. I think that'll work. Although I'm a little worried about how wide these are going to be, so I'm pretty sure I am going to actually need a a new modal. I'm also wondering, I don't think this will actually save me any work because I'm going to have to, I can't do that in a switch statement. I have to actually say, like, so I'm going to show you what I mean. Switch statements have to be constants, I believe. So I can't say yes option here because it has to be a constant. Yeah. That is yes, not yerd. Yes. That's unfortunate. So let's go ahead and say switch selection dot to lower. So we're gonna have to say case. Break this out. Then we're gonna have a default. That breakout. Dang, I just cannot open, or I cannot type. All right, let's go ahead and copy that. So, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh wait, wrong thing. I lied. So you're actually going to stay like that for now. I need to move this down because I totally put this in the wrong spot. Let's see, where are you? On add interaction clicked. There we are. Is that? Let's go ahead and go up here. So we're going to say on add interaction type selected. So we're going to move this down to default, and then we're going to go ahead and say UI.open modal game modal with string a on add interaction type selected title and add interaction existing, add interaction new. All right, so this is going to be what type of interaction do you want to add to the room? And then we're going to call this one, this is our title, add interaction. Oh, and I guess I should have none, shouldn't I? Should have a cancel in case you don't want to add one. Cancel option. Cancel. Let's go ahead and scroll down here. Cancel option. All right. So we're going to say case cancel. I guess nothing will happen, which probably means that that should be the default. All right, which means that I have to go up here and copy this. I am not a huge fan of this. I feel like I should have probably had it pass back integer values instead of string values, but what are you going to do? Add existing interaction. Wow, actually that is incredibly infuriating because if I ever choose to change that, I'm going to have to go into code and edit it anyway. Oh boy. So, I mean, I guess I could do if-else statements. It just sucks to have to do that. So I might end up converting my modal. I was gonna say module and model. I'm like, none of those are correct. my modal to actually pass back into values. That kind of makes sense. In any case, let's go ahead and copy this again. Move this up. I'm just going to copy this for now. Let's see, because anything that requires extra work on my part means that it's more likely to throw errors at some point, because that's extra steps that need to happen for anything to function, especially when it's manual copy and paste like this. Okay, so this is going to be our create and add new interaction. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Don't need a default, because nothing's going to happen on cancel. And if we do add existing interaction, we are going to have to do something else. I don't know what yet. So let's go ahead and let that go. All right. Might actually go ahead and open up game modal. So I guess if we change the selected callback stuff to be what was passed, that does kind of make things a little easier, doesn't it? Because it actually means that I wouldn't need to overload things in multiple derivations. Derivations, I'm pretty sure is the correct word, but I don't think that's the correct way of saying it. In any case, we're also going to have to, I think, add a couple of custom modals to this. So we're going to probably want like a custom game select, make sure that everything's saved. Yeah, select interaction modal. Just because I get the feeling it's going to be used in a couple of places, and therefore I don't want to have submenus that I keep opening. I would prefer it to be a modal. All right, let's go ahead and do start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, map, room 2, interactions. Yeah, so these are way too long. Cancel. Nothing happens for that one. Okay, close. Good. Let's see here. What else do I need to do here then? Yeah, alright. So we're going to refactor our game modal itself to pass back a int value. This shouldn't be too bad, although I think I'm going to... yeah, this is going to be a little tough. I'm going to convert this to pass an int back instead of a string. And then that's going to throw a bunch of errors when I come back out of this. But it's super annoying to try and find everything that's referencing this, probably. Mostly because a lot of it's going to be doing this one, I think. And then I have derived classes that are also going to do this. Well, I guess at the very least I can go ahead and try to do this. Oh, that's the UI. Yep, that makes it even worse. Yep, because it's all going to be going through the UI. So we're just going to do this and see where it breaks. All right, int. So let's go ahead and just grab all this fun stuff. Int. Good. On button clicked. Wait, what? Oh, right, I have to, yeah, right, I forgot I gotta do that. So this is where it gets super fun, because I actually need to, oh, geez, that sucks so hard. Hold on. Yep. It means that I actually need to keep track of the options that exist. Oh, good, I am. All right. Options are equal to options. New string, options.length, that's all good. Now the question is, where do I clear you, if at all? Do I only do it when I open? Okay, So that means that I have to do options dot. Oh, right, there is no index of. I thought there actually was something. I've been working in JavaScript too long. Yep. Okay. So I need to actually find that, which is a little annoying. I suppose I could convert that to a list, especially since it's going to be changing all the time. It doesn't really make sense for it to be an array. So I guess I might as well do that. Oh, I probably did that because of the params thing, didn't I? Yep. Alright, so we're just going to do list string of options is equal to new list string close parentheses. Alright, so we're going to say options dot add range options, simple as that. We're going to say get rid of all of that actually, and we can just say options dot add Go ahead and do all that fun stuff. Alright, so we're going to say options dot index of option. Cool. Let's go ahead and oops. There. Can't type today. Okay. So that should get our index stuff working. And I guess that means that on open, I'm going to go ahead and say options.clear. Oh, I'm sorry. This dot options dot clear. Or, you know what? I can just do that in close, can't I? Yep. Let's go ahead and just say options.clear. That should work. All right. So let's go ahead and see what broke. Because, again, I can guarantee you that a lot of things did. All right, so this is going to pass an int. And an int. Go ahead and let that go. Yeah, this is one of those things where I feel rather silly, honestly. Interaction overview on delete selected. So this will be our int value. Let's see here, clear this. Go to definition here. This is going to be our int selection. All right, so we can get rid of this. And instead, let's see, the order of that is going to be yes and no, which means that if this is 0, otherwise delete index is going to be that simple. All right, make this a int selection. So case 0, case 1. See, that makes everything a lot easier if I make it index-based instead of string-based. Let that compile real quick. And then, let's see, on modal option selected, go to definition. This is going to be our int. Let's really hope that I'm not doing anything. Let's see. Confirm option. All right. So I suppose we'll say if option is equal to 0. All right. That's pretty much all we care about. Let's go ahead and close that. See what else we have to fix. What the frig? That was weird. I'm guessing it's because of, yeah, that. Go ahead and open this up. Confirm delete. Go to definition. Let's see. Yes and no. So if value is equal to 0, And we're going to say int value. All right. Close that. All right. So this is going to be an int. Go ahead and do all this fun thing again. Int and int again. All right. Are we good? We're almost good. I have high hopes. Ah, dang it. An int, and then an int again. It's going to be a lot of the sub, or the derived classes, aren't they? I get the feeling it will. Oop. Wow, a lot more. Crawling out of the woodworks, these ones. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over here. Go to definition. Int option. It's interesting, I made it. Oh, whatever. Let's see, on file option selected, find all references. So it looks like we get confirm and oh dear, that's not great. Great, just wonderful. So I have to look at it here. Again, no solution is really ideal, but at least having it be int-based means that I don't have to do string matching. And I can relatively easily guess where everything is. So let's see, cache confirm options would be yes and no down here, which is not what I needed. Load and delete options is probably what I'm looking for. Load, delete, and cancel. So cached file options. So it looks like load then delete. So 0, 1, and 2. Okay. Unconfirm load option. There's our value. Oh, sorry, not value. Int option. And those are cache confirm options. So I'm guessing 0 and 1 again. I'm going to double check that. Cache confirm options 0 and 1. Good. And otherwise, int value, yes, or 0. Okay. I think we're good. Unless I did that one backwards. Good. All right, let's let that compile. Yeah, that one did have a lot. All right. One of these days, I will. There we go. Okay. So now that should work. Although, just to test it, I guess I'm going to go ahead and try to add a new object, see what happens. All right. Go ahead and skip through this. Start. We're going to go to extras, author mode, create, Zork, map. 2 interactions. Go ahead and delete. No. Delete. Yes. Ooh, nothing happened. That's not good. All right, that's interesting. Let's go ahead and go to game modal. Generate buttons, options, button clicked options index. Oh, crud. I can't do that. Dang it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and grab this. I suppose that means I'm just going to do this then. Not ideal, but actually, no, no, that's definitely not ideal. Can I not? Options not clear. Can I just move close to be after that? Nope, I can't. They'll conflict with each other. Great, 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 great. Then I'm going to do. Jeez, there's just no winning here, is it? Yep. All right. Dot options dot clear. So if I don't clear this stuff here, then closing it is actually not an option. Doing it during close is not an option because close gets called before I look through my options. Moving close to be after that doesn't really work either because then that means that events could get sent out that will open other modals while this modal is open, which could also lead to weird behavior. So this is not ideal. But I do think that everything always has to go through here. I think. So I'm going to go ahead and do find all references. Or not that. Call hierarchy, is that right? Let's see here. Go ahead and go here. That does go to base.open, that's good. Gamma callback is equal to selection callback. Uh-oh. Yeah, probably need to change these to be int. Not ideal. Yep. Oh dear. Oh boy. So I need to say options dot index of option. Or honestly, alternatively, this would be way easier now, wouldn't it? Why don't I just make option be the actual thing that gets passed back? So let's go ahead and go back to game modal. We're going to go to generate buttons here. Why don't I just have on button? Yeah, why don't I just do that? That would be so much easier. Yeah, that is so much easier. Is there a reason that I wouldn't want that, or that I would want that? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't. It really does make everything a lot easier for me. And in that case, I don't actually need to store these even. Final references. So I clear it, I add range, I clear it, I add range, I clear. Oh, I guess I check input. That's a text quest modal. Oh, no, I do need it there. Okay. So I do still need to have them, but that's not actually that bad of a thing now. I can just ignore that for the most part. Instead, I can just go ahead and say int option and just pass the option itself. Yeah, that actually does make things a lot easier. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's go back here to game modal. So I think I can actually clear this now. I don't need to worry about it. but I might as well move it out because I'm clearing it elsewhere anyway. Generate buttons, blah, 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 blah. Generate buttons. Okay. Right. Let's go ahead and go through here again. Open, view call hierarchy. Okay, so you're being good. What about you? All right, let's go ahead and just see what broke. Because something broke. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. Man, gotta stretch a lot today. All right, let's go ahead and clear these. Int option. Color callback. All right, we'll let that go. Yep, all the fun things. Let's see here. Make that into an int. If selection is equal to, let's go ahead and see where on's color select is done, and I really hope that these are all the same. Good, so 0. That's interesting, it doesn't. I was doing a delegate for some reason, I wonder why. Alright, let's go ahead and let that go. I think I have some, yeah. Got some more. Let's see here. Confirm and cancel. It's going to be an int value. If value is equal to 0. Excuse me. Got the hiccups. Go ahead and let that go. Click this. On button clicked. Uh-oh, I was a little worried about this. Oh dear. Hold on. Oh, okay. So let's actually go ahead and say is equal or is greater than 0. No, sorry. It's greater than or equal to 0. If input is greater than or equal to 0 there. Okay, and this is going to be an int. And then we're going to convert this to an int. An int is going to be equal to -1. I'm going to set this to I. Okay. We should be good. So that should fix that little bug. Gamma selected. Int option. Let's see. Gamma options. I'm guessing that's just 0 that I want to do. I assume, but it's never healthy to assume. Yep. So I want to say 0 there. Okay. Let that go. And Shazam! All of our modals now use integers when passing arguments instead of strings. Cool. So let's go ahead and test this out. So now it should function as expected. Hopefully. Alright, grab all this fun stuff, type start, extras, author mode, create, Zork. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting to in-game interactions today. Map, room 2, interactions, add interaction, cancel, interacting, new interaction, cool. Let's go ahead and hit close. Actually, we'll go ahead and change its name to be object test 3. Cool. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's delete test object 2. Delete interaction test object 2 from this room. The interaction itself will still exist, but will no longer be interactable in this room. So I hit no. Good. I don't get any change. If I hit yes, good. That's all working. That's exciting. All right. The next thing I think that we'll want to do is I need a new modal for this, because basically what I would like this modal to do, instead of being set up like this, I would like it to have similar appearance where it has a title, then a message. But then instead of having horizontally aligned buttons, it would actually have vertically aligned buttons down here. And it would also dynamically resize itself to make it a little bit more streamlined. I think that will... I don't know if we want to do that next, because that's not entirely important. I think actually the next thing we're going to do is... so when we go to add interaction and we hit add existing interaction, when we click on that, I want it to pull up a new modal that shows all of the interactions in the author session, or in the game session. So let's go ahead and stop playing. Go ahead and close the menus, or the scripts that we don't need. Game view, UI, don't think we need game modal anymore. Everything else is good. And then we just have to wait for it to stop playing. One of these days. All right. Let's go ahead and clear this. And we're going to add a new modal. Let's see here. Do I not have a custom game thing? Select you. Oh, I guess we actually want the script. Oh, I guess they're being stored there. That would make sense. Let's see. So that's the room. I probably want it to be under interactions. Yeah. So let's go ahead and say CG interaction modal. We'll say interactions list modal. Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty decent name. Now, this one is going to be a little different in the sense that the ID, or the int value that it passes back, is actually going to be the ID of the interaction, unless it's -1, at which point it would be, none. That'd be like the cancel button. So let's go ahead and open this up. Oops. Reload. Ah, dang it. I still need to do script stuff. Ugh. Keep forgetting to do that on 2017.2 at home. I've done it at work. I've just not done it here. Namespace. Sleepy owl. Nope, not common. Text quest. I think the reason why I keep forgetting is because I did it at work. Let's get rid of these. Don't need them. All right. So we're gonna say using sleepyowl.common. Save this out and do an advanced save so that we don't have conflicting line endings. Cool. All right, so this is going to derive from game modal. It's not going to derive from text quest modal because that wouldn't really make sense here. And then we're going to go ahead and say, yeah, how best to do this? Well, I guess actually the easiest thing to do would be just to attach this script to a modal and see what we get in the inspector. All right. So once it compiles, I'll actually be able to do that. Eventually. There we go. Go ahead and collapse that. Let's grab our modals. Grab the game modal specifically. Pull this down. Open. Let's go ahead and make this a options list modal. There's our root. So cursor on close, that's good. Let's go ahead and just assign all the same things for these. All right. Default button colors. These probably need to be super cool if I could just copy that, but I can't. Shoop. 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 Seriously, I just make too many sound effects. Let's see. So there's going to be 0.2 and then 1. 1. 0.2. Oh, I did that backwards. 1 and then 0.2. 0.2. There we go. Default size we don't really care about. So 0, 0. Okay. So that means we can actually remove this. Go ahead and change this to say custom game. No. How about CG interactions list modal? Okay, let's go ahead and pull this down here so we don't accidentally override the existing game modal. All right, so our buttons are actually going to change a little bit. So instead of horizontal layout group, it's going to be. Do I have padding on this? Yeah, it's 10 all around because of course it is. We're actually going to make it vertical. Okay, padding of 10. Oh my goodness, Unity. You never realize how much you miss auto select until Unity takes it away. Spacing of 10 is also what we did. Let's go ahead and grab our button prefab. Put this underneath buttons. And then I'm going to make it fill horizontally and vertically. I'm also going to go ahead and add a layout element here, content size fitter. Vertical fit will be min size. Oh, really? You don't have a min size? Huh. Well, that's unexpected. I honestly thought that it did. Let's go ahead and delete this. Let's go to our modal button again. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to add a layout element, give it a min height of 55 from the looks of it. Cool. Let's go ahead and save. Drag this to be below there. Tile that so that we can see everything. Now, if we zoom out here, we should be able to see this grow as we duplicate. Good. So this is also going to be kinda wonky, because this is actually, funny enough, this is not what I needed to do for this one. I started making the one that was going to have multiple buttons that are vertically aligned. So I guess we might as well do that on this one, actually, since we're already halfway there. Let's go ahead and delete this. Let's see. So this is where things are going to get kinda messy, aren't Um, oh boy. Yep. So, oh geez, this is gonna suck so hard. Okay. Yep. 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 All right. So we're gonna need to do this. Let's see. Add layout, vertical layout group. Add layout, content size fitter, and give it a vertical fit of preferred size. Control size both ways. No padding or spacing. Don't need to worry about that. Don't need to worry about you. Okay. Then we're gonna give this a layout element preferred height of 75. That's good. Then we're going to give this a layout, vertical layout group, forcing them to expand to the width, and I suppose to the height. Oh. No. Just like that. Alright. No padding, no spacing. And we also want to have layout, content size fitter, vertical fit of preferred size. Goodness gracious me, that is clearly not correct? Question mark. Why on earth are you not... You have a height of 75, a height of 32, and a height of 75. How are you negative? There we go. Okay, it's because I forgot to check that off. All right, and then the last one is going to be the same thing. So I'm going to have a layout, vertical layout group, expand width and height, and then a layout content size fitter with preferred size. Oh, and then padding is going to be 5. Oh, jeez. There we go. So now, oh, actually, you know what? I guess let's go to our content here. From the top and bottom, 10. Probably closer to 20, actually. There we go. So now we should have a dynamically resizing interaction list. Although this gets kind of infuriating because I don't have a different class for this. I don't actually need a different class for this. I will have to use a different class for this, but I don't actually need that. So that's a little annoying, but I suppose we'll live with it for now. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just make this a class inside of my sleepyowl.com and stuff because it's generic enough that I don't need it to just be for TextQuest. So we're going to go ahead and say vertical, oh, vertical resize modal. Yes. Don't know what else to call it really. Vertical layout modal. I don't know what else to really call it, so let's go ahead and call it that. Open it up, reload. All right, get rid of all of this. It's not actually even going to do anything. It's just going to be namespace sleepyowl.common. Oops, common. It's just going to derive from game modal. That's it. Not even going to do anything special there. All right. Let's go ahead and close that. Let it compile. And give it a second. Come on. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and just assign all of these things again. Title label. Buttons. Oops. Okay. Buttons. Modal button. And do. Copy you. One, then point 2. Cool. Let's go ahead and remove this. We'll call this vertical layout modal. Probably should get rid of that button, shouldn't I? Yep, there we go. Go ahead and let that go. Get rid of the root. Let's go ahead and drag that down here. Cool. Delete that. And this one I have not actually done anything against yet, so it should all still be good. Cool. So now I can change this one to be what I actually need it to do. Let's see. I suppose this one is actually going to need a button, or a like interaction button prefab. Would that be correct? Let's go ahead and see. Custom game interaction. No. Custom game map room. Room interactions. Okay, interaction button. Now, what does interaction button actually have on it? Because I could potentially need to use it. Right? Nope. Especially because it has delete button now. Ah, dang it. Yeah, that's not great. Because I would like to still have. Dang it, this really sucks. I would like to have this same functionality for a label and then a custom icon that it's supposed to be, or that it should use for the particular icons, or if it's a base object or an item that you can pick up and take with you. But I don't want that delete button, which thinking. Set info, interaction info, label.text. Do you have anything relevant? Do you have an ID and a name? You don't actually do anything with this, do you? Nope. We can probably get rid of that then. For now, I'm just going to comment it out. Let's see. I mean, the easiest thing to do would probably be just to do this. If delete button. So we can reuse that, well, we can't use that exact same prefab, but we can duplicate it and then leave it as is. Yeah, alright, we'll do that. Let's go ahead and call this room interaction button, and then we'll duplicate that. Call it interaction list button. It's going to have no interaction whatsoever. Let's go ahead and get rid of the button so we don't have to worry about it. label, 0 from the right. That's all good. Go ahead and say apply here. Okay, hit delete. And now we can go back here to CG interactions modal. We're going to say public custom room interaction button, which we will probably rename to just be called like interaction button. Interaction button prefab. Go ahead and rename this to, well, no, we'll leave it as is for now. Mostly because I'm not sure if I actually already have an interaction button. Okay, good, I don't. So yes, let's go ahead and rename this. Let's see. So I need to rename this file as well, because Unity hates it when you have different script names and different class names. So once Unity compiles, I can do so. All right, we'll let Unity compile again. Shazam! Abracadabra. There we go. Aha! Perfect. All right. So we're going to want to say, let me think. So this is a modal. But this is actually kind of a weird modal. We're not going to use the base open because that doesn't actually make sense. Instead, well, actually, you know what? I wonder if we could. No. Yeah, I was just thinking that we could just have it basically pass all of those parameters, but that kind of no. We're not going to do that. We are going to have a custom menu. At the very least, we would need a custom menu anyway because I need to have a scroll area. So we're going to need to say a couple of things. First up, oops. We're going to go up here, say using Unity engine.ui, then public scroll rect. This will be our interactions scroll area. All right. Do we need anything else? Not really. I guess we'll. Well, do I want to have a hard dedicated? Nah. I was debating whether or not I should have a hard set cancel button, but nah. We can pass in cancel that way. If I ever want to add interactions, I can pass that button, and then just listen for those options to come back. So, all right. Let's go ahead and say public void open. This is going to need a callback, so we'll have to say system.action. It'll be an int. This will be our callback. I guess we'll also actually go ahead and it's gonna be a very similar. Geez, that's not super great, is it? All right, so I have to override then. Override. Let's see, open callback. Do this fun stuff. Except I'm not passing options. That's right. So I'm not actually going to do that. I'm just going to take its base function, and I'm going to get rid of you. Except that might still actually cause problems, won't it? Because the param stuff means that you can actually pass no parameters there. Oh dear, that is quite problematic now, isn't it? I lied. Overcomplicated this vastly. Wow, seriously. Override. So we can actually just do the base options calls, because that's still going to spawn in the buttons as we expect. I can't talk. That's still going to spawn in the buttons as we expect. It's just that I need to do extra stuff on top of this. So that's actually not that bad. So we're just going to say if not is open. Oh yeah, and you know what I also just realized I should probably do is because we're kind of doing more coding right now. All right. So if not is open, we're just going to call base.open. And in addition to that, we are also going to say, well, something else. But for now, let's go ahead and get the other open going right here. We're going to have I'm going to have a separate function. I don't want to do it in the base opens. So we're going to go ahead and say private void generate interaction list, I guess is what I'll call that. Let's go ahead and just move that over to here. Cool. And this is just going to populate the actual list of interactions that you can see and select from. So let's go ahead and block out our code real quick. So we're going to say private void on interaction clicked. And this is going to be an int index, I think. Okay. And that should basically be all. Oh wait, no. Thinking. Yeah, that should be good. All right. So we're going to go ahead and say generate interaction list. Before we do that, we'll need a private void clear interaction list. Can't type today, jeez. And for this, let's go up here. Say private. Almost forgot some other things that I need. I don't want to do system. Get rid of you. But I will still need using system.collections.generic system. I don't know why my shift key does not like actually taking into account some of this stuff. Okay, why are you mad now? What? Okay. Are you being... What? What are you talking about? Like, I can literally go there and look at it. It's right there. Okay. Oh, right, there it is. Compilation error. Duh. Alright, so we're going to say private list interaction buttons. Actually, I don't think I can use that. I think game mode will use buttons, doesn't it? Unless I called those option button. Nope, call them buttons. Alright, so we'll call these interaction buttons is equal to new. Alright. There we go. That's why. It's because I spelled system wrong. Because apparently I can't spell a 6-letter word. Alright. So down here, we're going to say interaction button. Not that. Interactions. Seriously, I literally just spelled these. And I can't spell interaction, apparently. That would be why. Dot clear. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and say for int I equals 0, I is less than interaction buttons. Dot clear. Wow. Not even close. Dot count. I plus plus. Alright. So we're going to say interaction buttons of I dot remove event listeners. So it'll clean itself up. And then we'll go ahead and say pool manager dot recycle interaction buttons vi dot game object. Do I have a cached game object on that? Nope, just game object. All right, probably gonna want to add a cached game object reference at some point to that so I don't constantly generate garbage. Okay, so before we generate interactions, we're going to go ahead and say clear interaction list. That way, if any exist for some reason, we'll clean them up. And now, let me think. I think we want to say, well, we're going to actually do a couple of things. First off, we're going to say private custom game author session. We'll just call this author session. And then we'll go ahead and say private custom game author session, author session, get return, author session, question mark, author session else, author session is equal to, I think I can just say global.get, yep, custom game author session. There we go. And now I can come down here and say author session dot interactions. Oh, really? Do I not have a public reference to those? Here, hold on. Author session dot get interaction. I can do get interaction. Let's go ahead and go to definition here. Are you private then? You're protected. All right. I guess I should just go ahead and add a function for this then. Public list interactive object get. Oh geez, that totally doesn't really work, does it? Crap. Get interaction. Or how about just get all interactions, I guess is what I'll call that. Oh, do I already have that? Oh no, okay, never mind. Get all interactions. And we're just going to say list interactive object interactions is equal to new list interactive object, except I can't call it that. Interaction list. And we'll go ahead and say return interaction list. List. There we go. And then for this, we're just going to say for each int id in interactions interaction list dot add interactions of id. Oh right, dot keys. There we go. So that basically goes through our dictionary. Generates a list that has all of our interactive objects in it, and then that gives it back to us. I guess we're going to kind of need to do the same thing for public list int to get all of our IDs. So we'll say get all interaction IDs. All right. So this is going to be a list of ints IDs equal to new int, and we'll return IDs at the end. Pretty much going to do the same thing here, except we'll just go ahead and do this. All right. So that should get all of our actual interaction IDs, and then that should get us all of our interactions. And I'm going to need both. So let's see here. Interaction modal. All right. So we're going to want to say get all interactions. So this will be a list of interactive objects. Interactions is equal to that. Then a list of ints, which is going to be IDs, is equal to author session dot get all interaction IDs. Okay. So the idea is that I need both of them because I need the interactions to grab their names, and then I need the IDs so that I can pass those as the values that will be returned when you click on something. So let's go ahead and say For int I equals 0, I is less than interactions dot count I plus plus. Wow, that did not format the way I was expecting. All right, we're just going to say interaction button is equal to pool manager dot request interaction button, and then interaction button prefab. We'll also parent it to the, what did I call it? Interactions scroll area? Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's not right. I need an extra field up here. So we're going to go ahead and say public rect transform interactions grid. Interactions grid. Okay. Then we'll also say button dot on click dot add listener, and we're going to need a delegate, and that's going to do something, which is going to be on interaction clicked with all right, IDs of I being passed, except if I'm going to do that, I have to do this. Int index is equal to I. And if you were watching earlier, you'll remember why we need to do that. It's because for loops, the way Unity handles them, if you try to pass I as a value in an argument, they don't all get passed as they're created. Instead, it waits till the end of the loop and then passes them, which means that if I pass I, then all of them will pass with I as their value instead of index, or the specific index that I wanted. So you have to create a new variable in scope and then have it be passed then. It's kind of annoying, but that's how it works. All right, interaction buttons dot add button. Oops. All right, and I suppose the last thing I'll need to do is say button dot set info, and okay. That's super annoying, but okay. We're going to want to say interactions, wow, except I can't spell, of I dot name, I guess, is what we'll just do. And then the type is going to be, we'll say interactions of I is item, question mark, CG interaction type dot item. Otherwise, it's just going to be an interaction type dot basic. All right. Let's see here. I suppose on interaction clicked, I'm just going to call on what is it? On button clicked. Yeah. Then pass the index back. All right. That should be everything that we need it to do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all we needed. So let's go ahead and let that compile. And then we should be able to actually set up our interactions list modal to function as expected. All right. I gotta crack my neck. Maybe I should get one of those standing desks or something. I probably need a new desk in general anyway. This one is terrible. Let's go ahead and set all this up. So, surprise, surprise, it's not going to show up. I don't know why this happens, but for some reason I've never been able to get my selection using the little dot to work. It just never shows anything that I want. I think it works with Unity's built-in types, but not with anything else. It's kind of annoying. All right, so we want interaction button. Where are you? You should be up here. Here we are, interaction list button. Cool. So now we got to change our content around a little bit. So content is still going to be in the center like it is now, but our message is now going to basically be anchored to the top. So we're going to do We'll still probably have it be centered, but it's going to stretch along the top like that. 0, line it there. We'll give it a height of 100. I don't think I'll need more than that, honestly. This is already actually kind of tight. I might end up bumping our panel height up to 600. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right. And in addition to that, we are going to want to add a couple of things. So first off, let's go ahead and say create UI scroll view. We'll have this stretch all the way to fill everything. From the top, it's going to be 100. And then from the left and the right, we'll go ahead and say 10, and then 10 and 10. Or I would, except I have to keep hitting enter after all of this now. Thank you, Unity. You've made my life so much easier. There we go. All right, so the scroll view, we're going to do a couple of things. One, viewport. Good, you do have one. That's what I was hoping for. Let's see. So scroll view, we're going to go ahead and change some of these. It's going to be clamped. It's not going to be horizontal. I guess we'll give it inertia. Scroll sensitivity of 10. Horizontal scroll bar, none. I don't actually need one. Oh, that's not what I meant to click on. There we go. None. There we are. And that means I can delete you. So I can... Oh, did everything actually snap? Oh, it did. How nice. Didn't used to do that. That must have been a new fix. Let's see. So for now, things are going to be a little odd with our scroll bar because that's the default scroll bar, but that'll be fine. But I am going to go ahead and change our background to be our solid square. Might as well make it sliced. And then our viewport, which is how to get this to look right. Let's go ahead and set you up all the way. Let's change our viewport to use, instead of the UI mask, it's also going to use the solid. Except it's going to be black. Oh, except that actually doesn't quite work as I was hoping it would. So I guess this should be black. Then we're going to need to give it a parent. So let's go ahead and have this be stretched. Have this move out. Okay, everything should match. Have our scroll view. Good. Let's do 5, 5. Oh, jeez. Unity! 5. I can't believe they shipped with this. It's such an annoying bug. Alright, so we're going to add another image to our game object here. Add an image. It's going to be using our solid square, so we can get this nice outline effect. Otherwise, it can be confusing if you don't have a very distinct scroll area. Players can get confused when they're looking at it. And it's not necessarily something that's just like completely impossible to overcome, but it looks wrong, and that means that people won't like it. So we're going to go ahead and call this interactions scroll view. We'll just call this interactions list. All right, this will be our interactions grid. We're going to have to do a couple of things to this. Do a layout, a vertical layout group. No padding with spacing of 10, I think. Have it stretch both horizontally and vertically. And do the same thing where we have a content size fitter that is set to be a min size for everything else. All right, are you all correct? Yes. At least I think you are. Okay. Also, I think I was wrong. I think I actually could have done this the way I was expecting it to. Oh well. Let's go ahead and assign our references. So there's our grid. Here's our scroll rect. Okay. Everything else should work. Do you have an interaction? Your min height. Good, good, good. Good. Okay. So now we should just have to try to open this, and it should work. Oh, also, let me make sure that I didn't accidentally leave a... Good, I didn't. All right, select this. Good. Let's go ahead and apply references here. For now, I'm going to go ahead and just turn off our UI. It's not ready to test because we haven't actually coded the modal to be opened yet. So we need to go to custom room interaction menu, and on interaction type selected, existing, which is going to be the 0 here, we're going to say UI dot get modal. What did I call it? CG underscore interaction list modal. I suppose then we're going to say open. Oh, I guess I don't need to do that. I can just do open modal, can't I? Open modal. All right. So our message is just going to be a default one for now. Our selection callback will be null for now because I haven't coded that yet. Title will be select interaction. And then options will be just, for now, cancel. All right. So our message will be select an existing interaction. All right. We're going to need to go down here, say private void on add exist. Wait, no. On existing interaction selected selection. All right, let's go ahead and pass that in. So at the end here, we're going to say case. Oh, I'm sorry, not case. Switch selection. I'm going to say case. If it's 0, that means it's cancel. So we're not actually going to do anything, right? Otherwise, we are going to want to say, let's see, author session.add new interaction, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and say, if not current room that contains selection, we will add selection. And I suppose we'll also just generate interactions after that. Right? I think that will work. All right. Let's go ahead and try it. I think that's all we needed. Yeah. I knew I was being optimistic when I said that we would get to actually interact with things by the end of today, but I was hoping. I think that will be a, well, not next week, because I'm not going to be streaming next weekend. I guess that would be 2 weeks then. So let's go ahead and do start. Let's go to extras, author mode, create Zork. Map. 2 interactions. Oh. You didn't save. That's problematic. But at any rate, let's go ahead and say add interaction. Existing. Oh. I forgot to add those modals. Well, that's fine, because that also means that I get to change this modal. Let's see. So instead of game modal, I'm going to say vertical layout modal. So let's see. Is there anything else I need to do in here? Nope. But yeah. Of course, I would forget to add my modals to my UI system. They're not magic. They have to have references. All right. Let's go to our resources once it compiles. Oh my goodness. It gives me like little fits of movement, and then it's like, no, I must compile. You must wait. All right, there we go. Let's see here. Standard assets, resources, UI over here. All right. So I need to add a couple of new modals. Where are you? So we want vertical layout modal, and I guess I should probably call that modal dash. Keep the naming consistent. There we are. And then of course I did that all the way up there. Okay, there we go. So now those modals should be referenced, which means they should open. So let's see if we got that working. Fingers crossed. Pretty hopeful. Go ahead and click through here. Start, extras, author mode, play. Oh, not play. No. Oh dear, things might be broken now. I'm a little concerned. Well, let's see what happens. Map. Room 2, interactions. Add interaction. Nice. So you can see that this is what I was talking about. We'll add an existing interaction. Sweet. It's got our list of objects. That's good. And I guess if I think we can just do. Oh man, I can't drag it. I'm like I don't remember what ones I have. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and delete this. Let's delete a couple of these. And ooh, that's not a good sign. Hitting delete. Oh, frack. Yeah, that would make sense. All right. So a couple of things. One, when I hit delete and I delete an interaction, I need to make sure that I regenerate the buttons. Otherwise, their event listeners are not going to work properly because they will have been assigned to a interaction that is not in the correct index anymore. And two, down here on existing interaction selected, I actually want to say basically just this. So if the current room already contains that interaction, then I want to do something. Specifically, I want to say, I'm going to break out. I don't want to go any further than that. And I want to say UI.open modal. Let's go ahead and say, geez, so many modals have to open up to make this work. So we're going to say, so that's the message. The message will be the, oh, geez. Okay. So let me do this real quick. String.format. The interaction. I'm gonna do some formatting here. Already exists in this room, and that is going to actually be author session dot get interaction based off of the selection dot name. Okay, so that's the message. And then after that, we're going to say, let's see. Jeez. Yeah, I probably should have. We're just going to say null here for now. I guess we'll just have our title for that also just be called select interaction. And then the option will just be okay. All right, so let's go down here. I'm going to say private void on existing interaction error selected int selection. We're basically going to do the exact same thing as this. All right. Let's go ahead and pass that back in there again. Right, and I almost forgot. Interaction, where are you? Custom room interaction menu. Oh, that's already where we are. So on delete, on interaction, delete selected. Here we go. So once we do all of that, actually, before I do that, I want to double check index. Yep, okay, I do. So I guess after we do that, we're going to have to say generate interactions. Not super great. Long term, I might, instead of generating the entire list again, I might just regenerate those specific interactions that would be affected by an object being deleted. But, for now, I'm not going to worry about it. All right, let's go ahead and play. All right. Go ahead and say start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, map, room, interactions. Right, you're still not deleting. Which I think has to do with me not saving. So I probably need to call save after I delete something. So let's go ahead and delete a couple of things. Add interaction. Add existing interaction. Let's try to add oh crap, I don't know which test object exists. Let's hit cancel. Okay, so test object 2 I know exists. Add existing interaction. Interaction test object 2 already exists in this room. I suppose this I could have select another interaction or cancel instead of just saying okay, because it's just going to open this up again. All right, let's go ahead and hit cancel. Let's go ahead and close this. So now everything should be saved. So if I stop playing, we go back here. Where are you on interaction deleted? Right. So I actually want to go down here, and we're just going to say switch selection case 0 breakout else case default. Actually, we don't care if anything happens there. So if you say OK or select another option. All right, so we're going to come over here. We're going to have cancel be one of the options. And the first option will actually be select another interaction. Oh, jeez. That's going to be a super long one. That might not fit in the buttons. Let's go ahead and try that. Compile. And if this works, that'll probably be it for me today. Been about 2.5 hours, so let's go ahead and clear our console. Go ahead and play. And start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, map, 2, interactions, good, all of them did work. So yeah, that was just because I'm not saving after it. Let's go ahead and say add interaction, existing interaction, Test object 2. Uh-oh. Yep, I was a little worried about that. So it's grabbing the first modal that's of game type, or of game, the first modal of type game modal, which happens to be this. Not ideal, but I actually don't think that's bad. So I might actually keep this one, but that is a problem I have to deal with in the future. So let's go ahead and say cancel. Okay, nothing happens. Let's add interaction, add existing interaction. Let's go to test object 2. Okay, select other. Good. Okay, so a couple of things. Let's go ahead and stop playing. I am going to go ahead and change this to, say, vertical layout modal. We're going to change this to interaction already exists. So that's good. And we are also going to go to interactions list modal. I need to come up here to using system.collections. All right. So down here, I'm going to go ahead and say private enumerator scroll delay yield return null, and then interaction scroll area dot vertical normalized position is equal to 1f. Need to do that every time we generate interactions. So let's go ahead and say start coroutine scroll delay. All right. So we'll do this one more time just to get a quick run through of it, make sure it feels right. And then that'll probably be it for the day. So we didn't quite get interactions functioning within the game itself, well, within custom adventures themselves, but we do have a better setup again for assigning references to objects within rooms, so that data will be a little bit more accessible and a little bit easier to edit, especially since now we can actually delete references. So let's go to extras, author mode, create, Zork, map, room 2, interactions. All right, so let's go ahead and do add interaction, add existing interaction. I'm also going to get some screenshots while I'm here. Select another interaction. Oh, yeah, I didn't check. So I'm going to select something down here. And then let's go to add interaction existing. Good, it does scroll up. Try to do this again. All right, so yeah, now it actually does scroll our scroll bar all the way up to the top, so it's always going to show you the top of the list every time you open up this menu. So that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and do another screenshot of this. And then do a screenshot of this. Cool. So that's a pretty good place to stop for the day. Announcements. Nothing really major. Tomorrow will be our second weekly recap. So I'll go over, what I was trying to do last week, or I guess this week technically, and then what my goals for next week are. That will be probably a bit of a shame-filled episode because I did not get even close to what I was hoping to get done. But I guess as another heads up, because I know that this will be a thing next weekend. I'm not going to be streaming next Thursday or next weekend at all because I will be out of town for a game convention. I'm going to be showing off Text Quest in West Virginia, which will be interesting because I haven't shown it anywhere over there yet. So yay, new eyes. Hopefully that will go well. But anyway, I think that's a pretty good place to stop for the day. So as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.